What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today we'll sit down and talk about Project Z, the upcoming drama game for 2019, and kind of give you my overall thoughts about it. Because I realized after the initial reveal, I haven't really said much about the game, and that's mostly because I have no idea what to expect. The gift that occurs in the drama community is you get a game every single year. That's the gift. Every single year, no matter what, we're always going to get a Dragon Ball game. The reason why is because Shueisha has a special deal with Bandai where they have to basically release a game per year. Otherwise, they risk losing that license to another company. If that happens, well, Bandai's gonna lose a lot of money. So every single year, because of that, we always get a game. The curse is, it might not always be a good game. Situations in the past, a bad game, in my opinion, was Battle of Z. And I also feel like that's kind of something that a lot of people will agree on. Battle of Z might have been fun for like a day or two. They tried something different. They're very, very ambitious with it. But Battle of Z was a really, really bad game. Examples of good games are the Xenoverse series and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Despite how I feel about Xenoverse right now, I think the Xenoverse series is a good series. It just has flaws. Take Xenoverse 2, fix the issues. Xenoverse 3, I guarantee you, will be the best Dragon Ball game of all time. Like, they literally have a gem in their hands right now. All they gotta do is improve upon that, and I guarantee you the Xenoverse series will go down forever as the greatest Dragon Ball series of all time. A lot of words to pack behind that, but that's just how I feel about it. FighterZ is great because for the first time ever, we got a competitive Dragon Ball game in the realms of Tekken, Street Fighter, stuff like that. Really, really cool. Marvel, like, it's cool to see Dragon Ball in that world. But now we're going all the way back to the casual side with an action RPG, which is what we're going to talk about today, Dragon Ball Project Z. Now, we only know two things, like I said. The first one being the fact it's an action RPG, and two, it's an open world game. What does open world mean? Well, I'm sure most of you guys know, but in case you don't, open world means it's a giant open world. It's like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim. Basically, a game that just allows you to freely roam around at your own will and do whatever you want. You talk to characters for quests, you come back, you gain experience. That's what open world actually is. Action RPG, like I said, it's more in the realm of like Dark Souls, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 15, just off the top of the head. Basically, games that are hardcore RPG games, but they have the elements of action where basically you do have full control of the character. So don't expect to see, I mean, you might, I have no idea, but don't expect to see like a Xenoverse level of combat in this game. At most, we're probably going to get something as simple as like we have a melee button, we have a key button, and then we have stuff like special attack where you can do like Kamehameha, Big Bang attack, depending on what attacks you have equipped or what you learn. That's how action RPGs work. Whereas Xenoverse, it's more in depth. It gives you more extra stuff like being able to have different combos, variety of strings. Every character plays differently. This game's gonna be more dumbed down, but again, it's meant to be more of a explorable adventure game in an RPG format as opposed to be a fighter like Dragon Ball Xenoverse or even Dragon Ball FighterZ. Completely different. Like I said, gift and a curse. The gift is we always get a game. The curse is it could be bad. But honestly, for this one, I have high hopes for it. The main reason why is because, and you guys can agree with me on this, I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me. Ever since I was a kid, there was one game that I wanted really, really badly, and that was Legacy of Goku 4. The Legacy of Goku series was incredible, minus Legacy of Goku 1, which has flaws, but again, Bandai tends to look, well, I guess it wasn't even a Bandai game back then, was it? It was a different company, I think Atari did it, but essentially, every time a sequel comes out, it's better. Legacy Goku 1 had its flaws, but Legacy Goku 2 and Boost Fury were absolutely perfect. In those games, you upgrade from just being playable, of only having Goku as a playable character. Now in Legacy Goku 2 and 3, you can play as multiple characters. They all have like transformations and stuff, unlockable attacks. That was a lot of fun on the Game Boy. And I remember I used to always think, man, if it ever releases on like the PlayStation 2, back in the day, it was a while ago, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, it will be incredible. But sadly, I feel like with how ambitious that game sounds, it would just never happen. On top of that, it's a lot easier to focus on the fighting element or the fighting game aspect because, I mean, Dragon Ball is all about fighting. So doing like an adventure game doesn't make any sense. And the times that they've done it, they didn't do that hot. For example, Dragon Ball Saga, despite it not being an action RPG technically, Dragon Ball Saga was more of a beat 'em up. Dragon Ball Saga was a bad game. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Saga sucked. I never want to see Sagas come back, which is probably why they always stuck to the same formula of just doing fighting games, because you kind of know what to expect since the show is all about fighting. But I'm really excited about this just because the idea just sounds so cool. And again, just picture this, okay? You're Goku, you're flying around the map, you're flying on Nimbus, or you're just flying on your own, and you just see the whole Dragon Ball world. You're in the Dragon Ball world, but not in like a fighting game element. Granted, we kind of saw that, I guess, in Kantan City, but not really. It's kind of like, think of Kantan and Xenoverse as more of a blueprint to what this game could be. It sounds awesome. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the rumors that have been going around over the course of the last year and that's the fact that this might be getting developed by CC2. That is a really, really good thing. Now, a lot of you guys who play Storm are probably like, but why? I hate a Storm. Well, whatever issues you may or may not have with Storm, in my opinion, I think the Storm series was great, but this story mode was spectacular in Storm 2 and Storm 3. I'll make sure I point that out. In Storm 2 and Storm 3, their story mode was absolutely amazing. And the reason why is because they managed to make a story mode that was so cinematic that threw you into the series that you grew up and watched or read, and it was a good experience. I think how they did the cutscenes and the action in Storm 2 and Storm 3 was spectacular. And in fact, if you find my old videos, you can probably find it somewhere because I did actually play Storm 2 and Storm 3 on my channel. I even said if they ever did Dragon Ball, it would be insane. Absolutely insane. Granted, you could also have the curse aspect of it, like I said, if they do what they did in Storm 4, where Storm 4 was a mix of basically slideshows from the anime, and then a couple cutscenes here and there. If CC2 is doing it, please don't do that with Project Z. Just give us the rendered out cutscenes and the action. Let us live through the story that way, okay? Because trust me, everybody that's going to get that game will be 100% for actual cutscenes as opposed to just slideshows that slide and say, hey, here's Raditz. Oh no, Raditz attacked. Oh no, Raditz still Gohan. That'll be boring. But if you have the potential of making games look as beautiful as the Storm series, but in the Dragon Ball story, A1. Already good game. So I would love to see that. I would love to see CC2 be confirmed tomorrow or in the near future that they are the ones behind the game. Like I said, all we know is we know two things. Number one, it was revealed, I want to say like 6 to 8 months ago, that CC2 is working on an anime game, but they didn't reveal what it was yet. Just something crazy secret. And then a couple months later, there was another hardcore rumor that went around the internet that said that CC2 is working. No, I think they said a company is working on a action RPG Dragon Ball game. I don't know if it was ever linked to CC2, but it was kind of like assumed that it was. So if that ends up being the case, I am all for that. But something else I want to talk about is if it does end up being CC2, for the love of God, please do the original story that we grew up with, Dragon Ball. Don't give us none of that time travel stuff. And the reason why is because as much as I love the time travel aspect of Xenoverse, I got so burned out on it. And the reason why is because I realized Bandai keeps doing the same story. Think about it. Xenoverse 1 comes out. We get told that they're going to do a brand new story, but kind of keep in touch with the original story, which is going to be great for old fans. But as a fan, you got to kind of relive it in a different way. The whole time travel aspect in Xenoverse was awesome. Being able to kind of like have to get thrown into the different scenarios to fix the issues that Toa Mira did and Demigra was really, really dope to me. But then we got Xenoverse 2 and I was like, oh, this is the same story. It's literally the same story. It's the same cutscenes, just made prettier. What are you doing? But whatever, I guess it fits because it fits the whole time travel aspect. And then we got Fighters, and Fighters had basically bad guys again that were just being controlled. Well, in this situation, it was clones. In Xenoverse, they were taken over by Toa and Mira's magic. Whatever, you know, it's whatever. Fighters isn't about the story anyways, that story sucked. And then we get Jump Force, and they're still doing the whole aspect of shonen characters being controlled by magic or whatever. Now, granted, I don't know the full story to what's happening in Jump Force, excuse me, but the most recent trailer that came out showed Vegeta like evil, and then he had a bunch of evil like time patrols behind him. It's like, how many times are you gonna do the same story, Bandai? So if they end up doing an original story, I'm all for it, only if they make it actually original and none of that stupid like time travel, not time travel, but mind control or clone stuff. Give me something like a brand new villain and make the story around that character. I'll be all for that. But knowing how they've done the last couple games in the different genres that they've done, I don't think that we would see something like that. In which case, stick to the original plan and just let us relive the Raditz arc, the Frieza arc, the Android arc, the Buu arc. Now, I would keep saying more, but let's be real, with a game like this, we're probably going to get a pretty much bare bones version of the story, meaning we're not going to get everything. And the reason why is because they always leave room for what else could come. They can give us, like in Project Z, they could give us the full 4 arcs, the original arcs, of Z, which consisted of obviously Raditz showing up, Vegeta and Nappa showing up, then going to Namek, and then the Android stuff happening, and then finally finishing up with Buu. Potentially go into the Beerus stuff, but then what do they do for the next game? So I feel like what they might do is they'll keep it kind of simple. They give us the original story first, and then based on how well the game does, which I think the potential here is crazy, they can do the next game that maybe covers Super. And perhaps even beyond that, depending on where we are down the line, whatever else they add into the Dragon Ball world. That would be A1. I'm all for that. So, like I said, there's a lot of potential with this game to be an absolute hit. but at the same time, it's also scary because like we don't know what to expect. Like I said, personally, I'm excited just because as a kid, the one thing I wanted the most was like a action adventure-y Dragon Ball game that lets you kind of fly around, shoot out ki blasts, fight bad guys, and we've kind of saw that, but like it was never like quite the action game. I think that the game that was closest to me, honestly, was Xenoverse, just due to the fact that it featured a kind of fighting that I would love to see. But obviously, Xenoverse didn't have like the whole RPG element where you have to go from point A to point B. But like, I feel like they have enough data to make that work. So yeah, I'm personally excited about it. Again, tomorrow at the end of World Tour, there's going to be some kind of reveal. I'm hoping we don't get trolled, especially after that live stream that happened a couple days ago. But I'm hoping we don't get trolled, or actually a couple weeks ago now. It's been like 2 weeks now. I hope we don't get trolled where they literally show us is a tile that says Project Z, and then they give us like one screenshot. Which, by the way, we did get actually a look at the game. They revealed a render of Goku and Gohan from the Raditz arc, and it looked like an actual like cel-shaded render from the series. But that's actually how CC2 games looked. So that actual render was probably from the game. So I hope that they don't do that, but instead they give us actual some gameplay and then give us an idea of what to expect. But honestly, I also feel like we're not going to get that much just because this game, as big as it's going to be, will probably have a more of a bigger reveal at E3. I mean, E3 is in June, and I'm honestly surprised that they even revealed this game this soon, because I feel like with as big as Project Z that it could be, this is one of those games that you want to save for E3 because the Dragon Ball fan base is massive around the world, and you want to be able to like really drop the bomb on everybody at a convention like E3. So honestly, when E3 is when we really see more information about it, but for now, we're gonna keep getting a lot of teases as to what expect for the game over the course of the next couple months. By the way, something else I want to point out: based on release, Bandai always like announces the game and then they drop it about 6 to 9 months later. If you look at the track record, they've done that with every single game. When Fires was first revealed in May, it came out in January. Xenoverse was revealed in like. Originally, Xenoverse 1 was revealed around, I want to say, E3, and then dropped around January as well, January, February. And actually, if I recall, most of the games for Bandai, the important ones, either come out like January, February, or like September. And in fact, I'm pretty sure every single CC2 Storm Series game came out around September as well. And also, I think Xenoverse 2 also came out around September as well, if I remember correctly, in like 2015. You can double check the dates for yourself, but they usually drop their big games like either January, February, or like September, October. So I feel like with them revealing the game now, E3 coming up, we'll probably get this game sometime as soon as October, September, if not November, in that area. Because again, it is being marketed as a 2019 game, and knowing their track record, it only makes sense for them to drop it around then. So we're gonna get this game a lot sooner than you think. But with that said, what do you guys think about it? What are your expectations? What do you not want to see? Feel free to discuss whatever you want down below. And other than that, the second I hear any more information about the game, as far as what they're going to reveal even tomorrow, I will cover it. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. But for now, I'm excited. Please, for the love of God, be Legacy of Goku on the PS4. Because that would be amazing. That would be insane. So yeah. Anyways, let me go ahead and stop talking. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit that thumbs up if you're hyped for Project Z. If you have any questions or anything, just drop it down below. At Rhymestyle on Twitter, and also twitch.tv/Rhymestyle as well. I stream pretty much every single day. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.